everybody, this is Natalie McNamara and welcome to this week's training session. Each week there'll be new sessions up as part of this group that you've entered. We'll also have some PDFs or workbook for you to fill out, part of the free training course down below. So now this is where all the changes occur. You can watch the video again and again and again, it's totally up to you. But if you don't fill out the bookwork, and it's all just for you, you can be as honest as you want because you're the only one that's going to read it unless you want other people to see it. But that's where the changes occur. It's you start to find out answers about yourself that you really weren't sure you even had questions about, and then everything starts to steamroll and you change the way you're thinking, you change your beliefs. So it's really, really important that down below you'll either be emailed the PDFs, but it's really important that that's what you do, you actually fill them out. So each week I'll be changing the training and giving you new bookwork to fill out, and you can come into the Facebook group and ask any questions and things like that. That's no problem, but please do the work because that is where everything occurs. So let's get into it. This week we're starting with your story. So we start with your story. What are your major pain points at the moment? Now, everybody has them. The reason you've joined this group is probably your major pain point, and you may not even be able to verbalize what it is at this stage. But there's something in your life, there's some blockage in your life at the moment, and you're trying to find an answer, and you're sourcing whichever way you can go, whatever direction you can go to source this answer. So your pain point might be a lack of direction. You might be at the point you go, I really need to know what my life purpose is. Everybody around me seems to have a life purpose, know what they're doing, and I just am floating, and I really want to know what my life purpose is. It might be lack of energy. You might be so unmotivated, struggling getting out of bed, struggling smiling through the really good stuff that's going on in your life, and your motivation level is just gone. That might be your major pain point. It might be that you need more time. I'm a big one to overschedule myself, so I might set myself, say, 6 goals for the day, knowing full well that I was never ever going to achieve them with the kids and everything else that goes on. And then, of course, when I don't achieve it, then, that can affect my psyche and can affect the way I look at myself and my guilt and belief. So, needing more time, it's prioritizing your time and letting go of a lot of things. Your major pain point might be you need more money. I'd like to say we all do, but realistically, when you find out, you go deeper into your story and deeper into your other pain points, money may not actually be it. That may just be what you think it is on a surface level. It may be it. I'm not sure. Negative self-talk. You may be someone who constantly puts themselves down, almost to the point they're an imposter in their own life. Like, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are, doing this job at work when really I don't feel like I'm that good at it, or, you're the first one to criticize yourself. So we start off with your story. So to look outward from yourself, because you are not your purpose. This is not the time to box yourself into what you believe must be your purpose, because this is what you have always done. Your beliefs from childhood are waiting in your subconscious and have always been there. But if they are no longer working for you, then it's time to change your beliefs. Your story is what you tell yourself, and they are often true. So your story is often a very true story, but it's not always effective. So you give up the stories that limit you. This is what we're doing in this training session. We are going to delve into your story, which then starts where your beliefs are, and anything that's not working, the way you're telling your story, the way you feel, we're going to give them up. We're going to learn how to give them up because they may be the reason that you are being blocked. When you change the way you feel about the story, you change the way you see yourself and alter your belief. That's very, very important. We hold on so tight to our story. So my story began from a childhood incident of being called Fat Nat. It rhymed with Natalie. I had this big chubby face. I always thought I was a normal looking kid. I was never a skinny kid, but I thought I looked normal. And that just started this belief that I was not enough. I thought I was enough, and apparently by all these other kids, I just was not enough. So I started to believe and then do everything from there that I was not enough. And at the same time, I got sick. I had to go to hospital, and I could see that my mum was upset and my family was upset. And this just proved that I was not enough, because if I was, then I wouldn't need to go to the hospital, which is all such rubbish. But that is where my belief all began many, many years ago. Change is inevitable. Growth is optional. Some days I'm scared of putting myself out there as I'm afraid of what might happen. So remember that. Change is going to happen whether you work with it or not. But growth, that's what we want. The growth is optional. The growth is your choice. Connect emotionally with your story. Sometimes it is these emotions that are holding us back. So finding out where these emotions began can help with releasing them. This is not the time to feel sorry for yourself. That will achieve nothing. Self-pity is negative and will only sustain your story without a chance of moving on. Now, I'm not saying that the story didn't happen, that the story is not true, but we've now lived with that story for so long. If we want change, if you really, really want change, that story you have to change the way you feel about it. What you do in your life is chosen by you, not by anyone else. So remember, that's now. Your future is determined by the decisions you will make from now on, and no longer by your story. So the power of the past. This is where we look at how powerful your past can be. So 1, make the decision to let go. 95% of our time is spent in either the past or the future. It's quite weird, isn't it? Let go of the past and free time to concentrate on the now, where all the changes actually happen. If you're holding on so deeply to the past and dreaming so far into the future, you miss all the good stuff and everything that happens now, and all the changes that you can do now, so that good stuff in the future you are going to achieve. Stop being the victim in your own life. Living in the past will not benefit the future. Think of the past as something you have survived, and as a survivor, you are a strong and capable woman. Change the words from victim to survivor and watch the emotions transform the way you see yourself. This is part of learning how to change the way you think about your story from your past. Acknowledge your pain. The past comes with many, many lessons. By allowing the pain of the past to become real, it is an important way to learn and to protect yourself from the same experience in the future. Have an ending. Letting go means having an ending where your story no longer limits you but pushes you forward with determination and drive. Embrace the future. This is your life, your dream, and you're in control. Embrace what your beautiful life has to offer and no longer be contained what has already been. So there we go. Fill out the workbook below. Keep it to yourself. Share it on the Facebook group, whichever makes you feel comfortable. But let's get started. And I'll see you next week. Bye.